Yeah, when you're climbing, you try not to think of falling. The goal really is to shut your brain off, perceive danger, and there's actual danger. You're absolutely terrified even though you're not in any danger. Fear is the same either way. It feels exactly the same, and it has the same effect where it doesn't help you.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. All right, guys, Maison DesChamps here, coming fresh off the spear. Just came out of jail, right?
Yeah, I was in jail for, I don't know, like a day and a half, 2 days. And
Damn.
yeah, it's pretty rough in there, but I'm happy to be out. And my friends just got released 10 minutes ago. So
Oh, he was in there too?
we had 4 of us in jail.
Oh, I thought only you climbed it.
Exactly. I'm the only one that climbed it. They arrested a 5th for handing out pamphlets.
What?
Yeah.
What's the charge on that, though?
Conspiracy to destroy property and felony destruction of property is what they charged all of us with.
Felony. So you're facing some jail time, potentially.
Yeah, none of the charges that they have on me are actually going to stick because they're claiming that I damaged over $100,000 of property, but I didn't break a single thing.
Right, and you got it all on video, too.
All on video, GoPro, and I started climbing, and the plan was to climb down, right? Because I knew there wasn't a hatch, and I knew there wasn't like any kind of roof access.
Yeah.
And I got to the top, and they had 2 workers there, a police officer, and a representative from the building.
Oh, they were at the top?
Yeah, they're always waiting for me. It's always funny.
No way. How'd they get up there, though?
On the inside. So it's actually really cool on the inside.
Okay.
There's like a subdome. So the inside dome is actually smaller than the outside. There's like an exoskeleton, and you can see all the framework of all their steel work that they did on the inside. And
Yeah.
really neat. But there's a set of stairs that takes you, you're maybe like 5 feet from the lights that are on the top, from the very top. And so you can take off a couple bolts on the rails and pull one of those off.
Oh, got it.
So they invited me inside, right? They said, come inside. And I said, I don't want to come inside. So if I do it, it's because you're inviting me. And they said, yep. So they let me in, and they bolted it back up, and they said that taking those 2 bolts off cost $100,000.
Damn. Oh, so if they didn't invite you, it would have been trespassing, right?
No.
No?
So that's the funny thing with what I do, is that climbing skyscrapers, believe it or not, don't do it, by the way, but climbing skyscrapers is not actually illegal.
Really? It's not trespassing?
I should say in most states.
Okay.
No, because the way trespassing works is they have to trespass you, in which case you get 15 minutes to leave, or you can leave at your own safety. So if you're 500 feet up a building and they tell you to leave,
Yeah.
Unless they have a sign that says no climbing our skyscraper or...
That's a random sign of.
Yeah. Well, then you're kind of good to go.
Yeah.
So
Not many people like you willing to climb a skyscraper.
yeah, they just kind of never thought to make the law.
Yeah. So what's the highest building you've climbed?
Oh man, the highest one I've done so far is the Salesforce Tower in San Francisco. And, height, it kind of plays a factor into the hardness, but not entirely. Like, obviously, if the building's taller, there is more climbing that needs to be done.
Yeah.
You got to have more strength. But what really makes the biggest difference is, are there rests? So like the Salesforce, yeah, it was 1,070 feet, but every 10 feet or so, every 15 feet, there was a big fat rest that I could sit and get my muscle back.
Yeah.
Whereas buildings like the Accenture Tower in Chicago, there was a 500-foot section of like no rest at all.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you got to be locked in.
Yeah, and actually 2 weeks before I climbed that, I ended up snapping a tendon in my hand.
Jeez.
And I did it because the charity I raised money for, obviously we raise money for pregnant women. We pay their rent and everything, let them live. They need money really badly. So I just said, you know what? I got to do it. And I started climbing, and the building was so sharp, my hands just started gushing blood, right?
Jeez.
And luckily, it was so sharp that it made my hands go numb. So I couldn't feel them.
Oh my God.
Couldn't feel the
Why
pain.
was it so sharp? What was the material on it?
It's all metal. And that's the thing with climbing the buildings. Like, a lot of people think I do it for fun. I actually hate it.
Really?
Oh, it's horrible.
You don't wear gloves?
No, you tape it up, but the tape kind of falls off, and it only does so much.
Yeah.
But
You just do it for awareness.
For the awareness, like the pro-life movement, and then raising the money to help the women. And
Are you looking to start a new website? Look no further than Hostinger. Hostinger is a top global web hosting and website creation brand where you can generate a full website in seconds using their AI website builder. Before, it would take hours, sometimes days to start a website, so this is a game changer. All you got to do is answer 3 questions and it generates an entire website with copy and images, and you can customize it further with a drag and drop editor. No need to pay thousands on web developers anymore. Their builder is also user-friendly, requiring no coding or technical skills, and they offer AI SEO-friendly copy and an AI logo maker to create high-quality logos. They also got a sick AI heat map, which predicts visitor behavior. It's super affordable, guys, less than $3 a month, and that also includes a free domain name, which saves you additional money. If you're interested, check out hostinger.com/DSH, hostinger.com/DSH, and use code DSH, get a discount on your order. Back to the show.
Like I said, like I don't like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to go out and climb on the rocks here in Las Vegas, and when you're done doing that, you get to go home, you get to go to the bar, have a beer, and then sleep in your own bed. But when you're done climbing a building, you're all cut up, you go sit in jail, and then when you get out of jail, you got to go on podcasts and TV shows and worry about saying something dumb because you've been up for 2 days straight.
Yeah, you've been up for 2 days. You went on Tucker Carlson too, I saw. That was nuts.
Yeah, that was super cool, dude. So the charity, again, like these charities, they just have no money because it's so hard to raise it in this movement. And my boss called me and he's like, dude, anything he's trying to get me to climb a building, but without saying that. He's like, dude, anything that you can do to raise money, do it.
He doesn't want to get arrested for
well, no, they cannot pay me to climb buildings, and they don't legally. But he's like, anything you can do to raise money, do it. And I had no ideas. I was injured and couldn't climb, and so I just prayed about it, and I came up with this like bootleg marketing strategy, and I realized that whoever these large accounts are following on Instagram, that's like their Rolodex. So I just started going through all these conservative accounts and following whoever they were following, and they started following me back, and one of them happened to be Tucker's producer. And so
on Instagram?
Yeah, that next Monday I was on Tucker, and we raised a lot of money.
How much did you raise?
Oh gosh, I don't remember, but I mean like thousands of dollars. It was
That's
pretty
awesome,
cool.
man. Super cool. Now, when you get arrested, I saw you were dealing with a case in Phoenix that you said is not going so well.
Yeah, so I don't know if I can talk about that. I can try to do my best. Basically, Phoenix is a little different because when I climbed that building, there was a fence around it, and I was unaware that when you hop a fence, it can bump it up to second-degree trespassing.
Okay. And
had I known that, like I'm not trying to break the law, if I'm being honest. I probably wouldn't have done it because it's kind of like James O'Keefe, he's a buddy of mine. He told me that we don't have to break the law, right? There's no reason to. I could have climbed any other building and accomplished the same thing, but I was unaware of the law, and so we're working on that. Monday, we're going to know what's going on with that.
I didn't know that. That's good to know. I actually got arrested for trespassing when I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
So in Jersey, where I grew up, it's called prom weekend. So after prom, we all go to the beach and get drunk for 2 days. And I guess I wasn't supposed to be at the house without a wristband.
Really?
So yeah, they arrested me.
Did they give you your 15 minutes to leave, or?
He said get out, and then I came back, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, they got you good.
They got me.
How long did you sit in jail for?
It was only a few hours, but it felt like forever, honestly.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I was the only one there, luckily. I'm sure your arrests have been...
Man, like, honestly, I prefer to go with other people.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, solitary confinement is horrible. But as a Christian, right, I read the book of Acts. Yeah. And it's about the Apostle Paul. And everywhere he goes, he's mocked, he's beaten and thrown in jail. And he uses the jail to preach the gospel. And so when I go to jail, they when they throw me in the big rooms, for normal people, if you look like me, you could maybe get beat up.
You're a target, yeah.
But with what I do, they all just want to hear stories.
People respect it, right?
Yeah, they think it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
the guys in there probably even saw you on the news in the jail.
Yeah, and the guards are coming up. They want autographs.
No way.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's hilarious. I mean, no one's ever going to do it again, so that's definitely an iconic thing.
Yeah, but we're able to share the gospel in jail, which is really neat.
Yeah,
and,
so that's the story behind the hat.
Yeah, the story behind the hat. And this guy, he's a big supporter of the guy that makes the hat. So told him I wear it around for him. And nice. It starts a lot of conversations.
Absolutely. How'd you get close with James O'Keefe?
Okay, so James is a hero of mine. I say that like soldiers recognize other soldiers. In politics, there's so many people who are just good at talking.
Yeah.
And they don't have any actions to go with their words.
Facts.
And here's James. He's not only putting in the work, but he's also really good at giving speeches. He talks about fear.
Yeah.
He talks about death. He said, you're going to have to kill me if you want to stop me. And that's the same way I feel. And so I had the opportunity in Arizona a couple days before he was on your show to meet him. I went to one of his classes that he teaches how to do the undercover journalism.
Oh, dope.
And I just said, hey, dude, if you want to go rock climbing, like, hit me up.
Yeah.
I live in Vegas.
He took you up on rock climbing?
Yeah, I took him out. And
That's dope.
so that was funny. I don't think he cares if I tell this, but James has zero fears, right? Except for heights. I think I'm the first person to ever inflict fear into James O'Keefe. Like, he told me, like, dude, I'm scared of heights. I want to beat my fear. And a lot of people say that, but it's one of those things that the more you do it, you get over it. If I go to the top of a building and I look down, I'll get vertigo.
Right.
I'll start shaking, you know. But climbing's a little different because you ease into it. You start on the ground and it just progressively, you go up and you're not scared of it.
Yeah.
But James is the only person that I've ever seen who is physically scared of heights.
Wow. So he was like shaking a little bit.
Oh, yeah. But I ended up, he was teaching me his, what did he call it? His ethics of deceit, right? He said, we do not tell lies. So he asked me, Mason, if I climb halfway up this, can I go down it? And I said, yes, you could. And he gets halfway up and he says, can I go down now? I said, well, you could, but I don't know if I want to let you down.
Yeah.
And he, to his credit, he ended up beating his fears and getting to the top.
Nice.
And
That's cool, man.
I think he could beat it.
Were you free climbing or were you?
Well, yeah. So free climbing just means that you are climbing with your hands and feet.
Yeah.
But that can also mean with a rope, right? And so we're all roped in. I free solo sparsely.
Too risky, right?
Yeah, I say, like, in climbing, there's only two reasons why people do dangerous things. I call them the two isms.
Yeah.
It's narcissism and autism. And if you're too far on either side of the spectrum, you die.
So that Alex Honnold documentary that blew up and was really cool, honestly. Do you rank him on those isms?
Dude, he's got performance-enhancing autism.
Autism?
Yeah,
okay.
dude.
Yeah, because I was going to say, he didn't give me narcissism vibes.
No, Alex is actually a great guy. I've had the pleasure of meeting him. My climbing mentor, Brad Gobright, was his climbing partner for a lot of years.
Oh, nice.
Brad died 2019.
Damn.
But he
From climbing?
Yeah, he was rappelling.
Oh.
So they were rappelling down the mountain down in Mexico. They climbed, I think I'm going to butcher this name, but it's El Cinderoso Luminoso, I think is the route, very famous route. And get to the top, everything's good. They start coming down, and if you don't tie knots in the end of your rope, you just rappel right off your rope.
Oh.
And so Brad fell 200 feet, hit the ledge, bounced off.
Damn.
His partner, get this, fell 200 feet, hit the ledge, stuck the ledge. I think he broke a rib or an ankle, but like an angel must have pinned him down on the ledge because he lived a 200-foot fall.
200-foot drop?
Yeah.
How do you survive that? That's like, how many stories is that?
Oh, man, I don't know.
That's like 20 stories,
20 stories,
right?
yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
But there's all these weird cases of guys falling just an extreme amount of distance. There was a pilot in World War II, I think, fell out of his plane, jumped out, no parachute, and he rolled an ankle.
What?
Yeah. Hit a bunch of trees on the way down, just landed perfect.
That's
and
insane.
Survived.
I've always thought about, like, this is such a random thought, but if my plane was about to crash, what I would try to land on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hopefully like a pillow factory or something. I don't know.
Like water, they say trees. Like what area would you aim for if you had to choose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Aim for the empty bouncy house.
Yeah. They say trees, actually. I think that's what I looked up, but I don't know. I think either way.
Yeah. It's when you're climbing, you try not to think of falling. Like the goal really is to shut your brain off. I tell people there's perceived danger and there's actual danger, right? There's these times where you're absolutely terrified even though you're not in any danger. Mm-hmm. And there's times where you're in actual danger. But the thing about it is that the fear is the same either way. It feels exactly the same, and it has the same effect where it doesn't help you. It just hurts.
Interesting.
So when you're climbing, your goal is to shut your brain off as much as possible and just focus on what you're doing right then and there.
Right. What got you started in this?
Oh man. So, I mean, I was a climber. I grew up hunting and fishing, and then in high school we moved from Michigan to LA.
Oh, that's a big change.
Yeah. And so I didn't fit in.
You
I
do
was
not
just a redneck.
strike me as an LA kid.
Yeah. So the last day of school, I threw everything in my car and I moved to Yosemite and was living in the boulders up there. And,
Nice. Are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? We'll click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
But as far as the pro-life stuff, man, like my buddy, he just got out of jail, actually. They found this box outside of an abortion clinic in D.C., and they brought it home, and they opened it, and inside of the box were 5 full-term babies.
Oh, my gosh.
That were just ripped to shreds. And so,
What?
Yeah, it's called the Justice for the 5. And I saw this photo of this baby. She sat in a Ziploc container. She had a smashed skull and one eye left open. And I just thought, like, if I don't do something about this, like, what kind of man am I?
Right.
And there was this guy, Alain Robert, as far as the building stuff goes. I stole the idea from him. Back in 2008, he climbed the New York Times building to protest climate change.
Yeah.
And he's done stuff all over the world. I mean, he's 60 years old, and he's still climbing buildings.
Wow.
Before he was even climbing buildings, he was one of the greatest rock climbers of all time. I mean, on the topic of Alex Honnold, in 1991 or 1992, Alain came out to America, drove to Yosemite to try to free solo El Cap.
Jeez.
But the route that Alex had climbed didn't exist yet. No one had found it. So there was the nose and then the Salathé wall, and those were both too hard. He said he did the Great Roof, which is one of the hard pitches on the nose, and he got up to changing corners, which is the next hard pitch, and he said it was just too hard to solo.
So how do you get down if you're stuck?
You can rappel. So there's all sorts of bolts, and like the first time you climb El Cap, it feels like you're going off into space.
You climbed it?
Many times, yeah,
Wow.
with Brad. And that was the thing that made me good, because the first time, like I said, it's like you're going into space.
Yeah.
You're living in a whole new world.
Damn.
And the one route is called Sea of Dreams, because it's literally just this sea of rock that you have to navigate.
Yeah.
But when you really start climbing it and you learn that you can climb it in a day and you can navigate between routes, it really dumbs it down. And one time I was with Brad. It was 3 a.m. and it started to rain, so we had to bail.
Yeah. Oh, the rain makes it harder, right?
Yeah, and we would have got down in 2 hours, but he got his rope stuck.
Oh, gosh.
And so there's this pitch, it's called the Monster Off Width, and it's like 3 a.m. He has to climb back up this really physical pitch. I'm at the belay, I'm like half belaying him, I'm falling asleep, I'm like snoring at the anchor, just while he's heroing up to get the rope. But yeah, like we got down a couple hours.
Damn. So these big ones it's like a full day, like expedition pretty much.
Well, so that route, the last people to do it, now, I mean, there might have been someone in between, but as far as I know, the last people to do it took 12 days.
12 days?
Yeah, so
holy crap.
This is all Brad's skill. This isn't any of my glory, but he did it in 16 and a half hours.
What?
Yeah, we got to the top. We got to like a couple pitches from the top, and we slept on this ledge for a couple hours to wait for the photographer. He never showed up, so...
The photographer never showed up.
Yeah, we ended up just going.
For no reason.
I think we would have had the speed record if we wouldn't have waited.
So that would have been in the Guinness record book.
Yeah, again, that was all him. I was just his belay slave.
You were just there? That's still nuts, though. The fact that you witnessed that.
Yeah, dude, that was just a 19-year-old kid. And
that's crazy.
I didn't know how to say no. Like, looking back, some of the stuff we were doing, I'm like, okay.
Pretty risky.
That was a little sketchy, but...
Well, you're probably just such a fan at the time. You're like, yeah, I want to be there.
Exactly, dude. If I messed up, I was always embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I was just so scared of being embarrassed. I didn't want to say no. I just was a yes man.
Right. And that's good and bad, I'd say. I think it's important to try out new things, but you don't want to... Yeah, you don't want to always be a yes man. I mean,
it's character building.
No one wants 5 yes men around them. It's
No.
toxic. That's how all the pro athletes, go broke, because they have so many yes men around them.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'm lucky. I don't have any money, so I don't have to deal with that.
That being said, what role does money play in your life? Like, is it something you think about a lot? Because you seem to be very mission driven.
Mission driven entirely, man. I mean, my money belongs to God, and everywhere I go, I just get provided for. When I climbed in Chicago in October, I went to Chicago with $40, 2 jars of peanut butter, and a sleeping bag.
Wow.
And so climbers, we have this term we use, and it's hilarious because people who don't climb, they think it's a bad term, but for climbers, it's a badge of honor. It's called a dirt bag.
Dirt bag.
Yeah, and so Brad was known as one of the kings of the dirt bags. That's who I learned from. I lived out of my car for 2 years, just climbing every day. And
what does it mean, though, to be called that?
So it just means that you live in poverty almost intentionally, but mainly so that you can, instead of working, you can just rock climb. And that was never my intention to do that for my whole life. It was just something to do while I was in college.
Right.
And it taught me a lot of skills that help me now as an activist where you don't make any money.
Right.
And so when I went to Chicago, like I said, I was planning as soon as my hotel ran out to take a train out of the city and sleep on the streets.
Yeah.
I ended up going to this speaking event and I spoke, and one of the parents who was there, it was this teen event, they really liked my speech, so they invited me to this guy's house. And then we get there, and it's like an 18,000 square foot mansion.
Damn.
And he's really into woodworking stuff and architecture, and I'm a finished carpenter by trade. And so we hit it off. And rather than sleeping on the sidewalk, I ended up sleeping in his house. And then he kind of taught me how to fundraise, and so I left with a bunch of money to make a documentary.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is fascinating, man. Yeah, guys like you and James O'Keefe who are just activists and don't really care about making money for yourselves always interest me.
It's a God thing because everywhere I go, he provides. I was in Michigan for Christmas, and I'm on a run. I have $0 in the bank account, right? I run it down to the ground.
Yeah.
Total mission driven. And I'm on this run, and someone recognizes me, and they give me $200. And they didn't know I needed that money, but I really did.
Wow.
And yeah, dude, everywhere I go, God just takes care of me. And as long as that happens, I can keep going. And even if it doesn't, though, it's like, dude, with what's going on right now, I can starve. I could care less. They're going to have to kill me if they want me to stop.
Damn, man. That's deep. Not a lot of people these days you see that in, you know.
That's the whole point of what I do is like to try to get people to believe the words they say.
Right.
I tell people if they believe abortion's murder, which not everybody does, but if you believe that, you have to act like it. If you're pro-life, it's for one reason.
Yeah.
And so you're saying babies are being murdered, go do something about it. And then not only that, but like to be a Christian, that means that you have this eternal life. So what does all this other stuff matter on earth? Like what like if they want to jail me, oh well, we saved a life. We saved a baby. If they want to take my money, that's fine. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I'll live. I'll just go rock climb.
That's insane. Someone like you can't be canceled unless, they kill you, honestly.
Yeah, they can't really cancel me. I'm already canceled, so it's like,
Yeah. The media always reports the articles so negatively, too, I noticed.
Dude, yeah. And it's one of those things, like in the Bible, there's a verse, and it says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his own soul? And if I cared for a second what the media thought of me, I wouldn't be doing this.
Right.
But I don't really, it doesn't bother me. In fact, how we saved the most babies, there was this Reddit thread, and it was like the #1 Reddit thread for like a week after I climbed the Chase Tower in Phoenix.
Wow.
Just trashing me, right? And we went on there and we were like, yeah, this pro-life Spider-Man guy, what an idiot. I hear he's raising money for pregnant women so they don't need to get abortions.
Yeah.
I think the charity's called letthemlive.org. How dumb. And all these women started calling in to cancel their abortions.
No way.
We just fed the hate.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you've saved thousands of lives, man. That's awesome.
I don't know about thousands, but
hundreds.
We're at probably somewhere over 20 right now. But
well, that's just directly. Think about the kids that those people will have eventually. You know what I mean? It's like a spider web.
There was one time that we probably could say we saved a lot. So Walgreens, they wanted to sell the abortion pill everywhere it was illegal.
Wow.
And they were going to just let the courts take care of it. Let the lawyers take care of it. Just get it out there.
Yeah.
So we found out about this shareholders meeting that they were having in Newport Beach. It's this huge fancy country club. It's called the Pelican Hill Resort.
Yeah.
And it's like $1,500 a night. So we found someone to buy the hotel room for us, and I didn't even get to stay in it.
That's expensive. Damn.
I was really upset.
$1,500 a night.
I was so happy that
they must be giving you back massages and.
I don't know. I didn't get to stay because we were at the bar the night before and we're drinking.
You got too drunk.
No, we overheard the security. They were talking about how they know there's pro-lifers there and how they're going to start the meeting early and shut the doors. So my buddy was like, hey, what if you guys just went in tonight and just slept in there?
Yeah.
So we ended up doing that. We went into the closet behind the stage and we slept in there for like 9 hours.
That's hilarious.
And we could see the stage right out of the little crack in the door. And we waited for them to, run the show for like 20 minutes. And we went out and we patted the CEO on the back. And I don't know, have you ever like shot a deer?
No, I haven't. Can't relate to that.
So when you shoot a deer, they jump like 10 feet in the air.
Okay.
I think this guy thought I was going to kill him or something. Dude.
Did he recognize you or something?
No, but the fear of God was inflicted in his eyes. He about fell off the stage when I patted him on the back.
Man.
They tackled us.
They tackled you?
Yeah, the security tackled us. And when they had to get us out of there, right?
Did you get to say anything first at least?
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing is they had to get us out. So when they got us out, they opened the unlocked doors, and we had a bunch of people waiting on the other side to storm in.
So they stormed in?
Yeah, we shut down the meeting, and Walgreens actually announced that they weren't going to sell the abortion pill in those red states because of the protest.
No way.
Yeah. So
dude. So like I said, you saved thousands, if not tens of thousands.
Yeah, and what keeps me going is meeting these babies. I've got to meet a few.
Yeah.
And I can't help but think that when you die, you're going to get to heaven. And you're going to sit at this table of saints, and you're going to get to meet these babies one day. And all of the work and all of the sacrifice, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, I love that, dude. You're so purpose-driven. I'm at the stage of my life now where I'm diving into purpose stuff. I'm not going to lie, just care about money a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of entrepreneurs are like that, but now I only do stuff with intention.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been a great shift. I wake up every morning so fulfilled now, and I feel like with the podcast, I'm spreading just amazing messaging.
That's good. Are you a Christian?
I'm not. I would say I'm spiritual.
We gotta change that.
I would say I do believe in God, even though maybe not the version you're thinking of, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, what I say, like, a lot of the American church it's watered down, and I don't blame people for being mad at Christians because I'm mad at them too. And when you read the Bible too, like most atheist criticism of Christians are in the Bible.
Right.
We're criticizing ourselves, and it talks about like the weeds among the wheat, the wolves in sheep's clothing, all these TV preachers asking for your money, and you want to get to heaven, send your money. Like the Bible warns of that. And so I don't blame a lot of people for being mad at it.
It's tough to find a really good church that has all the incentives aligned, because when there's money involved, I mean, there's going to be human nature involved. So
my big thing I recommend to people is just find a church that reads the Bible, because that's our direction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough though when you see all these church owners or whatever just using money to buy their own houses and cars.
Kenneth Copeland, you ever see that guy?
No, he did that.
He bought private jets and all sorts of things.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're a preacher and you're flying in a private jet, I don't think you're getting to heaven. Maybe you will. I don't know. I don't think so.
So you don't agree with the 10% thing where you got to donate?
Oh, so the tithe, yeah, I do.
Oh, you do?
It should be out of your own heart, right? It shouldn't be this guy saying that that's what you have to do to get to heaven.
Right.
I don't believe that we're saved by any of our works. We're saved by our faith alone. So if you have no money and you can't give anything, that's fine by me. And if you want to give, that's fine. You're not going to be like rewarded here on earth like these guys like to say. Like most of the time, which is funny because the more I've sacrificed, I've seemed to be rewarded. But the Bible actually says the opposite. It says when you sign up for this, your life's going to be a lot harder.
Interesting.
You're going to be persecuted. People are going to hate you because they hate what you stand for. And so that's what I signed up for. I just been, I guess, blessed.
Wow. I do believe in karma. I do believe in energy like that.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
How come? Let's dive into this.
Yeah. So I mean, like the Book of Job, it kind of goes over that, right? Like I'm gonna butcher this. I'm an evangelist more than I am like a theologian. But the Book of Job, like basically Satan makes this deal with God, and it's like, hey, this guy, he's not really gonna pray. He only praises you because you bless him.
Okay.
What if you took his blessings away, right? Then will he still praise you? And God agrees to do it knowing that Job would still praise him. And he took all of Job's family away. He struck him, I think, with leprosy and punished him for, nothing. But one of the themes of it was have praise even in your suffering. And then also, just because we're good people, just because we do good works, does not mean that we're going to have good things happen to us. And
I think the key thing is expecting good things when you do good things. I think that's the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
I think you should just do good things and maybe good things will happen. But it's also what you choose to focus on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I really like the book of James. It talks about like faith, having faith and doing works with it. And it says, a man who has faith and doesn't do any works, is it like a man who looks at himself in the mirror and then immediately forgets who he was when he walks away?
Wow.
I'm paraphrasing that, but
No, I get it. That makes sense. I don't know. I just look at like my friends who give a lot, they just seem to receive a lot back.
I think that's part of that might be like human nature too, like because conviction it is contagious.
Yeah.
And like James, for instance.
Yeah, look at
like,
James.
You see what he does, and you can't help but like have that energy around you. And I'm really thankful for all my friends like James, and then my buddy AJ Hurley just got out of jail.
Nice.
5 minutes
Shout
ago.
out to AJ.
Yeah, shout out to AJ
That's a
Hurley.
good one. He didn't snitch on you.
Yeah, no, dude. Snitches get stitches. But having good people around you, it's such a blessing, and it's contagious.
Yeah.
You see what AJ does, and finding those babies, and I mean he's facing a lot of jail time for other charges.
Damn.
And he keeps going, and he's fearless with it, and being around that, it rubs off on you.
Absolutely. Mason, it's been fun, man. Anything you want to promote or close off with?
Yeah, if you guys would like to donate and help pregnant women, go to letthemlive.org. If you want to follow me on Instagram, prolife.spiderman.
Perfect. You heard it here, guys. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, as always. See you next time.